Now, Craig Counsell was pretty popular in Milwaukee, even though we all know the Milwaukee Brewers have won absolutely nothing in the history of that franchise. Zero championships. This one is a 0, and this one is a 0. However, their owner had some of the greatest quotes ever about finding out that, because they said they made an offer to Craig Counsell to make him the highest paid manager in baseball. Not $8 million a year, more like $5.5 million, what we're hearing. He says, when he was told by Counsell that he was going to the Cubs, and he said, when he first told me, I said, "Are you messing with me?"
No.
So great. So great. He thought he was being punked or something like that. And then he said, we lost Craig, but I've reflected on this. Craig has lost us and lost our community. Yeah. I can't imagine somebody wanting to be somewhere else.
Your community of what? When the Cubs come to town, your fan base doesn't even show up, brother.
He can't imagine anybody wanting to be somewhere else. Where with
can't imagine anyone want to be anywhere other than Milwaukee?
You mean with the leaky roof and all the Cubs fans and all the subway tickets that you can get for free and all the 0 championships?
And the 0 championships. Emphasize 0 championships.
I got to admit, Bernie the Brewer sliding down the slide is kind of a fun little thing. But is there that much more? Like, I appreciate the roof, but the thing leaks, man.
Okay, question for you. When I saw that quote, the first thing I thought of was Dan Gilbert when LeBron left Cleveland.
Yes.
Like the only thing he didn't do was say, I guarantee we're going to win the World Series before Craig Counsell does next. It's like, dude, you don't even have one.
Carter Hawkins with the great comment in the chat saying, first he threatens to move the team out of Milwaukee, and then he says, Craig Counsell done us dirty. Come on, like what? The guy's talking about moving the team because he wants a new stadium or like, what does he want? Like a multi-million dollar renovation to the ballpark?
It's there's such a second class organization, man. Like that's part of me.
So little brother.
They might as well be like the little brother of the NL Central. Like that's why I always will hate St. Louis more, because at least they have their 11 rings that they can spout off.
They can at least say they've won.
Yeah,
in their jorts.
But yeah, but
plenty of jorts
Milwaukee, like the last 5-6 years, all Brewers fans have been doing has been talking a lot of shit for what? Winning game 163.
Congrats.
Whoop de fucking do. Win a World Series. Win a playoff series. Fuck.
How many more playoff wins did they have than the Cubs this year?
0.
Oh.
They had the same amount as the Cubs.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. So I can't see why anybody would want to go anywhere else. Why would Craig Counsell want to go somewhere where they're not just going to, while they're in first place, trade their all-star reliever closer?
Yeah.
That's another reason. $8 million more. You weren't even close to the offer the Cubs made.
Right.
Okay?
But like that, the way they run their organization, like maybe like I understand he's a Milwaukee guy and a Wisconsin native, all this stuff, but like it's not like they do anything that makes you want to stay there forever. You know what I mean? That like
the sausage race is pretty cool. I did run in that once, so I give them some credit.
And credit to
Brian Anderson, great broadcaster.
Right. And credit to me for saying this, you know.
The custard
there is good.
The custard's fantastic.
And the cheese is great.
There's some great things about the state of Wisconsin. Miller Park, as I will always call it, is not necessarily one of them.
No. I do want to...
What about, you want to talk about the park sign, though?
Did
you see this, what the fans did?
Yes.
There's a Craig Counsell Park in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin.
Wherever the fuck that is.
First of all, a town named Whitefish Bay is outstanding. Where are you from? Whitefish? Yeah, I'm from Whitefish Bay. Yeah, I had a trot on the other day. A Laker, he was running with me, ripped the line off, pulled the drag. Next thing I know, Craig Counsell is managing the Cubs. Craig Counsell Park sign was vandalized by somebody, so they had to cover it up today.
Yeah,
because I think somebody wrote ASS on it.
If you don't know what that says, that it says ass.
They had to cover up the park sign.
Come
on, man.
Okay.
The guy got offered $40 million. Who among any of us would be like, another job is offering you $40 million? I got to tell you, if some other podcast company came to me tomorrow and said, I'll give you $40 million, I'd pack up everybody here with me and go.
Bye.
My thing is like, you couldn't have thought of a better word. Like you couldn't have said something worse. You just decided to write ass. Like what? God. Like even when you're trying to, I don't even know what the point of this other than that you're just mad. And it's like, all right, we've all been there as fans. Like it's like Cleveland burning LeBron jerseys, right? Like, but you couldn't have thought of a better word, a word that'll stick to him a little bit harder, right? Like, why not traitor or like something like that?
How about something very Wisconsin? Not bad.
Like, right? I don't know. Like
that's something we say in the Midwest. That's not bad.
Like, it's just to me, it's just funny. It's like you went vandalize some property, and all it does is just make you guys look kind of soft. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Luke Skywalker comparing it to when Chicago fans were mad that Chelios left the Hawks for the Red Wings. I cannot compare Craig Counsell, the manager, to Chris Chelios, the hockey player, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I wanted to say that the tweet that was sent related to the owner from Kurt Hogg saying, that we've lost Craig to Chicago, but I've reflected on this.
Yeah.
I have started to look into how I can get the tweet framed, and then I'm going to legitimately put it on my wall in my apartment. Legitimately, I am going to do that.
I believe that what was left off of the quote was, and please remember to tell our fans that you can get a discount. If you go to Subway, you can get a ticket for the opening day plus extra cheese on your sub.
Man,
unbelievable. The whole thing is just unbelievable.
We all silly like the mayor.